Hey everybody, what is going on? Serial Overdrive here, and today I'm playing The Outer Worlds. What we're going to be talking about today is my initial impressions of The Outer Worlds, what I feel about this game. We're going to be going over some gameplay, combat, everything like that, and sort of covering everything that you could wonder about. And this is all footage taken from the first 30 minutes, so for those of you guys wondering, there are no spoilers, or at least no spoilers that are really that important. Now, the first thing and the most important thing about an RPG, in my opinion, is the environment, and The Outer Worlds has this in spades. In the initial sort of few minutes of the game, not few minutes, but like 10 to 20 to 30 minutes of the game, you're going to talk to a character who mentions mass grave sites and how people in this world have to pay for their graves, at least in this corporate-run city. Or their families. I guess the people are dead, so they can't really pay for it, but their families have to pay for it, and then you see those graves. There is a lot of attention to detail in this game, and that's what I'm trying to go over here. The attention to detail is fantastic. Now, the graphics don't really fit with the city and the feel, in my opinion. The graphics feel a little bit more cartoony, a little bit more Borderlands, but the overall feel of this game is dystopian. I would have liked probably to see a little bit more like cyberpunk sort of vibes from this, but overall, it's not a huge detractor. The visual aspect of it did throw me off a bit, but this game is just so good. For instance, here you've got a museum, and this is introducing you to the characters, the monsters, the things that inhabit this world. Everywhere throughout this game, you're introduced to sort of these initial characters that just set the scene for you. For instance, this is the miner that talks about the graves. He talks about these graves that he's digging, that people have to pay for, and how he needs to collect funds from them. And then it's up to you. You get to choose whether you help this character or not, whether you determine to be the bad guy, I guess, or the good guy. And there's no real clear sort of feeling on this, right? Like, you could be thinking, hey, these people came here, they're working for this corporation. If this corporation wants to charge them for the graves, that's their right. But in my opinion, I think that's a bit wrong. Like, come on now. You pay once for a plot, that's about it. You shouldn't have to pay a monthly rental fee on a gravesite, but these people are. So you get to choose whether you're going to help them or whether you're going to collect the fees and help this guy out, you know. He's a worker for the company too, so maybe that's all you want to do. You just want to help this dude out. Then here you meet a sort of pastor of a new religion. He introduces you to the world. He introduces you to this religion, and you find out about all this weird stuff that's going on and how he is obsessed with this book. And this is the thing, like, these characters have depth. They don't just have one or two dialogue options. They have a lot of dialogue options. I'm cutting this. I'm pasting this. You're not seeing the full dialogue, and I've muted this quite a bit so they're not talking over me, but you're not seeing the full dialogue. But the full dialogue is pretty intense. It really gets you into the game. It really gets you feeling that game, and this is all within the first maybe 30 minutes to an hour of gameplay. And that's one of the things that is so important about a game for me, especially an RPG. I want the characters, I want the world, I want everything about it to draw me in and make me feel like I am in some sort of consistent, cohesive world. And this game does it. That's one of the things that Outer World does in spades, basically. It draws you into the game and it introduces you to these seedy characters, and they have a little bit of depth to them, right? You don't know if they're bad or good. You don't know if they're evil or working for a corporation or toiling away. Even this guy, the governor, who wants to cut off power to a village who sort of broke away from him. Spoiler alert! But yeah, he wants to cut off power from this village that broke away from him, and it's like, right off the bat, I'm thinking, this guy's evil. This guy's horrible. He's a monster. He wants to just cut off the power. And then people start talking about, well, they want unity. He wants to bind people together. And it's like, maybe, all right, maybe he's got his heart in the right place and his motives are wrong. Or maybe his motives are right, but his heart's wrong. I don't know. It's very interesting. These characters all have a lot of depth. Like, everybody you meet isn't exactly good and they aren't exactly evil, but there's sort of an in-between, and that's what really makes this world come alive. It's not one of those RPGs where you talk to a character and it's immediately obvious if this character is a good character giving you a plot line that's going to help your character out, or a bad character that's going to give you a plot line that's going to hurt your character. And this all matters because you have a reputation. That's one thing I missed. You have a reputation. That reputation affects things. It's going to affect your choices, and your skills even affect your choices. You can lie to people. You can deceive people. You can do whatever you want, and That's the thing I love about this game. And also, as you go along on this game, you're going to have the option to take along companions. So here you can see I got my first companion, and this girl came along. I chose to take her on my mission. She said, hey, you should probably talk to the pastor. This unlocked a dialogue option where I talked to him and we discussed sort of the ethics of what I'm about to do by basically taking a power adapter and making this village unlivable. It's very interesting, and the choices that you make depending on how you do this village, how you handle everything, are really going to affect your character's reputation and the game to come. And that's the thing I like to see in an RPG, right? Combat, skills, all of that's good, but you really need a cohesive and interesting story. You can see right here, she pulls me back in, I'm leaving, and she's like, hey, we need to talk about this. And that's something I like about this, right? And if you look at these dialogue options, it gives you so many options. It gives you a couple different options, right? You can be a complete dick, you can be an asshole, you can just do what you're doing for the money, you can be a complete, not a complete saint, but you can be a nice guy. Or you can sort of go with the middle road, right? You can be a bit of a dick, but still listen. You can be nice, but still like a slight asshole. And I like that. I like that it gives you so many options. And that's what I really like about this. They introduce you to the world in such a nice way. So my initial thoughts on this game are it's pretty good. But there's one last thing to really talk about, and that would be the combat, okay? So the companion here, she's going to help me in combat. Once you're in combat, you got a few different options. You can use pistols, you can use assault rifles, you can use melee weapons. You can use a time-slowing power that you've got to slow down time and make your shots a little bit more accurate. Or you can just go in and run and gun it. I'm playing this on normal, so it's pretty easy just to run through everything. I did this because I really want to experience the story, and I don't want to spend a ton of time just replaying combat scenes. But even here in this combat scene, this is so Marauders are these evil people. They took over this part of the village that I was just in, and I get to fight them and take it back. I don't know if this is a quest or what, but the fact that just walking along the road, I can take this side diversion where I'm fighting for this new city, I'm killing these marauders, I'm making things right. But then at the same time, I'm wondering what their story is to it. And this is a living and breathing world, and that's what I really like about this. Whether you're fighting marauders or talking to the governor of a city, there's always something going on in the background, right? You're always finding clues and figuring things out, and it is so cool to do that. And here you can see a little bit of the time dilation. Everything's slowed down so I could heal up real fast and get back in the fight. Love it. The combat system is honestly like pretty decent. It's very solid for an RPG, and I can't complain one bit. Outside of that, you have a few other things, like you can do hacking. You've got your perception skills, you've got intelligence skills, you've got things that just sort of play like minor skills that really do work. And you can actually steal you can be a criminal, and like if you murder or kill people, that's going to affect you negatively, and that's sort of cool. It makes the world a living, breathing world. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, comments, anything like that, please feel free to comment down below. Full disclosure here, I've only played this game for a couple of hours at this point, and all this footage was from like really early on in the game because I didn't want to give away any spoilers in this, but so far I'm really liking this game. So if you guys are interested in more videos from the Outer Worlds, maybe hit that subscribe button, because I am going to have some more stuff coming, and hopefully it's going to be enjoyable stuff. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I really do appreciate the fact that people took like 7 minutes out of their day to listen to me talk about a video game, and hopefully you were able to learn something from this. Like I said, questions, comments, all of that down below. I'm going to read them all, answer them all, and try my best to help you guys out. So yeah, until next time, peace.